Forgive me for making all those accusations when I didn't know all the facts. I was just so pissed off that my baby's mother could have been underneath that bridge, or some of my friends. That bridge wasn't finished being built, and who knows, really, who knows. But I can tell you right now that they're scrubbing a lot of the information, FIU itself, because they're all around the ABC design. They've been scrubbing some information. I actually had to go to a bunch of different web archives. I've actually been having to go to the Wayback Machine. They didn't even have some article that FIU just posted on March 12th about this new type of bridge design. So I found it. I'm going to share it with you all. And it's not going to look pretty for anybody. Like, everybody involved around this bridge is going to look bad. Even if they did nothing wrong, something like this is going to tear apart a community. This was a good project, Dr. Rosenberg said Friday, as president of FIU. This was a project that spoke to our desire to build bridges. When the board hired me, I told them, if you give me a pile of rocks, I'm going to build a bridge, not a wall. Experts in accelerated bridge construction, in which bridges are prefabricated and quickly moved into place, said it was particularly unfortunate that the collapse occurred at FIU. The university is known for its expertise in the field and has attracted top international scholars as PhD students. The Accelerated Bridge Construction University Transportation Center at FIU, a federally financed research center that received around $10 million in government funding in 2016, gathers, organizes, and distributes information about the time-saving method. I was just browsing the internet and I found this article just made by FIU 6 days ago. First of its kind pedestrian bridge swings into place. The bridge was designed by FIG, bridge engineers, and built by the MCM. Barnhart Crane. Now, there were reports of a crane that had disappeared shortly after the disaster, and that could be a missing piece of the puzzle, that there's something that could have broke from that crane, could have caused more cracks. And we also have an engineer that had discovered cracks in the cement and had left a message at the Department of Transportation, but the message fell on a voicemail and was not answered until after the catastrophe, which was like 2 days later. And they said, oh, well, the guy who got the voicemail, he was on assignment. When you're looking at this, several different things could have prevented it. A bunch of people screwed up, basically. So yeah, I clicked on this article from FIU, and what do you know? You can't find it. They took it down, yes. And I was checking all the Wayback Machine, it wasn't in there. But, you know, I kept looking, and boom, I found it. So it's not totally lost. First of its kind pedestrian bridge swings into place, March 12th. Now, these were the temporary vehicle that were actually hauling it in place, and they took these out of here, obviously. It was just a big blunder that they're going to move these out and was not completely built. I mean, they should have had these supports in at least until they figure out the other part of the bridge. This morning, the main span of the FIU-Sweetwater UniversityCity Bridge was lifted from its temporary supports, rotated 90 degrees across an 8-lane thoroughfare, and lowered into its permanent position. FIU is about building bridges
and student safety.
The project accomplishes our mission beautifully, said FIU President Mark B. Rosenberg. We're filled with pride and satisfaction in seeing this engineering feat come to life and connect our campus to the surrounding community. The 174-foot, 950-ton section of the bridge was built adjacent to Southwest 8th Street using accelerated bridge construction methods, which are being advanced at FIU's Accelerated Bridge Construction University Transportation Center. This method of construction reduces potential risks to workers, commuters and pedestrians, and minimizes traffic interruptions. Well, geez, you see, don't you get it now? They were just trying to minimize traffic interruptions. They were so worried about messing up the traffic. The main span of the FIU-Sweetwater UniversityCity Bridge was installed in a few hours with limited disruption to traffic over the weekend. Oh, limited disruption, okay. The project is an outstanding example of the ABC method, said Chair FIU Civil Environmental Engineering Department and Director at FIU's ABC, Atorad Aziz Zinimani, who is one of the world's leading experts on accelerated bridge construction. Building the major element of the bridge, its main span superstructure, outside of the travelway and away from busy A Street is a milestone. The FIU-Sweetwater UniversityCity Bridge is the largest pedestrian bridge moved via self-propelled modular transportation in U.S. history. It is also the first in the world to be constructed entirely of self-cleaning concrete. When exposed to sunlight, the titanium dioxide in the concrete captures pollutants and turns it bright white, reducing maintenance costs. Okay. FIU has come a long way since the Tiger Grant, to fund the pedestrian bridge, was awarded in 2013. This project represents a true collaboration among so many different partners at local, state, and federal level, and in both the public and private sectors, said Mario Diaz-Balart, U.S. Representative and Chairman of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development. It's about the future of Sweetwater, Miami-Dade County, and the entire South Florida region. I believe this is what creative solutions to transportation challenges look like, and I'll continue to support and incentivize these new ideas. Well, that didn't age well. That's probably why they tried to get rid of this article, because he didn't erase all of his tweets like most of these people were doing. But yeah, his tweets didn't age well either. There was a bus full of kids that had just went through this bridge that collapsed. And thank goodness that those kids on that bus didn't get impacted. My girlfriend was telling me that she was actually a couple miles from this place. She was at a hairdresser, and the guy said when they were around the school FIU, they smelled death. You could smell the death and the dying and the decomposing bodies that was underneath this bridge. And they were actually spraying some chemical to try to get rid of the smell. A lot of innocent people died. Their families deserve the truth, and we need to get to the bottom of it. And people need to be punished. You just can't let people die like that because you want to take shortcuts or whatever. People should get fired. And I think the FIU president should take a step down. I think this company should be severely punished. The crane operators, we need to find out who was operating that crane at the time of the collapse. Why was the crane removed from the scene within hours of the accident? This is a crime scene. Funding for the $14.2 million bridge connecting plazas and walkways is part of a $19.4 million transportation investment generating economic recovery, a Tiger Grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation. Other funding agencies include the Federal Highway Administration, Florida Department of Transportation Local Agency Program, FIU, and the City of Sweetwater. It will serve many purposes, including being a visually distinctive gateway to our city. Visually distinctive. Wasn't safely distinctive. The bridge is symbolic of the growth of our city is experiencing and our partnership with FIU. Construction of the bridge began in spring of 2017. It is expected to be completed in as early as 2019. When it is finished, the bridge will be 289 feet long, 109 feet tall. The 32-foot wide bridge will also serve as a study and gathering space. The bridge is a result of the great support from our congressional delegation and the U.S. Department of Transportation, said FIU Senior Vice President Kenneth Jessel. The bridge has already been the catalyst for significant economic development in the city of Sweetwater. FIU and our surrounding community will benefit from the project for generations to come. The bridge was designed by FIG, bridge engineers, and built by MCM. Barnhart crane and rigging operated the self-propelled modular transporters that place the bridge on its permanent supporters. Says for more information, click here. Prosperity Project Pedestrian Bridge. Eco-friendly LEDs will paint the pylon and pipe supports in programmable colors. A beacon of light. The new pedestrian bridge deck is post-tensioned in the longitudinal and transverse directions to maximize durability and achieve a design life that exceeds 100 years. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. It's messed up. The new pedestrian bridge has been designed to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. The bridge is an I-beam section stretched vertically and horizontally to maximize deck area. The bottom flange is the walking surface. The top flange provides a canopy. The trestle-like web provides design efficiency and openness. 14.2 million bridge. The bridge main span has been built on temporary supports, temporary shoring on the south side of Southwest 8th Street. Engineers reported cracks in bridge 2 days before collapse, March 16. An engineer left a voicemail with officials 2 days before the catastrophic collapse of a 915-ton pedestrian bridge in Miami and warned that some cracking had been found at one end of the concrete span. It was revealed on Friday. The voicemail left at the Florida Department of Transportation wasn't heard until Friday because the employee was out of the office on assignment, state DOT officials said. So, can you believe that their emergency telephone, that they don't see it because they're out on assignment? I mean, they don't have cell phones at the DOT office? I don't understand that. In a transcript of the voicemail released Friday, Denny Pate with FIG Bridge Group says the cracking would need repairs, but from a safety perspective, we don't see that there's any issue there, so we're not concerned about it from that perspective. See, cracks are not concerned about the safety. The bridge collapsed Thursday, killing at least 6 people. Authorities are slowly removing the debris, looking for more victims. At a news conference Friday night, officials from the National Transportation Safety Board said they had just begun their investigation. They cannot yet say whether any cracking contributed to the collapse. In addition to the voicemail about the cracking, it was revealed Friday that the bridge had just undergone a stress test, and concrete reinforcing steel cables were being tightened when it fell, officials said on Friday. Look at the people. Went to another place, and hopefully their families will get some closure eventually. For the people that got injured, hopefully they'll heal fast.